I am still trying to get back into the swing of the booktube thing. So I thought today I would do something really easy, fast, fun, and that is of course a book haul. It is a relatively small book haul. I ordered some books from Book Outlet a while back. I think I got most of these books back in January, like not too long after the beginning of the year, because really for one specific reason, and that is because one of the books that was on Book Outlet at the time I needed for my 2020 TBR. So I placed an order for all of these books basically just to get the one book, but I wanted the free shipping and all that. So I have, I think, 8 books here. Most of them I got from Book Outlet, and then one of them I got elsewhere. So I'm just gonna jump right in and talk to you about all these books that I got this winter. It's a winter book haul. So most of these books are adult, but I do have a couple of YA, and the first book I'm going to talk about is actually the only book in this haul that I've already read. I read it a couple of years ago, loved it, but didn't have my own copy of it, and was one that I definitely wanted to have my own copy of. So that is The Female of the Species by Minnie McGinnis. This is a hard-hitting YA contemporary all about rape culture and what it means to live in a world where rape culture is so prevalent. It follows the perspectives of 3 different teenagers. One of them is a girl named Alex, whose sister was raped and murdered several years before the start of the book, and she has been dealing with the trauma from that ever since. Another character is Jack, who is the star athlete at their high school, and as he is starting to befriend Alex and develop feelings for her, he is also dealing with the guilt he feels over the night that Alex's sister's body was discovered. And the final perspective is PK, who is a preacher's kid with a rebellious streak who befriends Alex while they are volunteering at an animal shelter together. And basically it's just all about how these characters' lives intertwine and what happens when some secrets start to come out. I really love this book. It's one of my favorite books ever, and I am really glad to finally have a copy for my shelf. On the recommendation of so many people here on BookTube who I really trust and usually have very similar reading tastes to, I decided to get Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. Jen Bennett is a YA contemporary author that I've never read before, but I've heard endless good things about her books. And this one in particular is, I think, the one that appeals to me the most. It follows 2 teenagers who are best friends, and they have a little bit of history together, but something has happened and they have been kind of torn apart. I think they go on some kind of camping trip in this book, and for some reason these 2 main characters get separated from the group and it turns into some kind of survival story. I'm not 100% sure if that is correct, but I think so. And something that I heard not too long ago was actually that this is like a modern retelling of Romeo and Juliet, which, let's be honest, you know that if you tell me something is a modern retelling of Shakespeare, I'm gonna read it. The only other YA book that I have in this haul is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I couldn't get this annoying Walmart sticker off, and I'm very annoyed about it. This is a standalone YA fantasy about a girl who is a librarian. I think she's like a magical librarian, and then one day something happens and these monsters get out at the library and she's blamed for it, and so she has to go on a journey with another character to get the monsters back. I think, I don't really know. I read Margaret Rogerson's first book, An Enchantment of Ravens, last year, and I really liked it. It was super fun, and I really liked her writing style and everything kind of about that book. So I decided to pick up her second book. I've heard some relatively mixed things about this one, so I'm going into it with, you know, some reserve, but I am actually excited for it. If the writing style is similar, if the way the story is written is similar, I think I will enjoy this one just as much as I enjoyed Enchantment of Ravens, so I'm excited to read it. Next up, I have a mystery book. I don't think it's a thriller, I think it's just like a courtroom drama mystery, and that is Miracle Creek by Angie Kim. This book, I think, came out last year and was like really making the rounds on BookTube. So many people were reading it and loving it and just like going on and on about how great it is. And so it's been on my radar for a while. I just haven't gotten around to picking it up yet. Like I said, this is a mystery book, and it follows the story of a couple who own and operate this experimental medical treatment device. And I think something happens at the beginning of the book. Something explodes on this device and several people are killed. They have to go to court to kind of prove that they didn't do it intentionally or that somebody didn't do it intentionally. I don't really know. I think that there are a lot of layers to this mystery. It could be the couple that operate the device. It could be the mother of one of the children that was killed, something along those lines. I don't know a ton about it, but like I said, so many people were just raving and raving about how great it was last year. So I definitely want to read this year. I think that I'm going to read it relatively soon because I'm starting to get back into the mood for mysteries. So I'm excited about this one. It's one that's definitely high on my TBR, and I think I'm really going to enjoy it. I also picked up Queenie by Carty-Williams. This is a book that I have wanted to read for a while. I actually have had it checked out from the library multiple times since it came out. I think I've also had the audiobook checked out from my library a couple of times and just haven't prioritized it. But now that I own it, I'm really excited about reading it. This is a literary contemporary novel. It's been compared to Bridget Jones's Diary, which I am a little bit hesitant about because I really hate that book. It's about a girl named Queenie. She's living in London, I believe, and she's basically just trying to figure out what she's doing with her life. She's like in her mid to late 20s and her life doesn't have a lot of direction, and this book is all about her trying to figure out what she wants to do and how she wants to proceed in life. And I feel like it's going to be so relevant and maybe a little bit hard to read because I feel that so strongly, but I'm hoping that I'll like it. It's been getting a lot of really good reviews, and a lot of people that I really trust and who I usually have very similar reading taste to have read and enjoyed this one. So I'm hoping that I will read and love it as well. I also just love this cover. Like, I don't know that it's coming across on camera very well, but the orange of this book is so stunning. If you didn't know, I really like orange. It was not evident, and so I'm excited to have another orange book on my shelves. I don't have a ton, and I'm excited about this one. I think I'm gonna like it, and I'm hoping to get to it relatively soon. The next two books I have here are both kind of weird. I have Space Opera by Catherine Valente. This, I have heard, is basically like Eurovision in space. It follows all these like different races of alien who come together and compete to see who is the most creative and talented, and whoever loses, I think their planet gets destroyed. And I think in this book, maybe Earth is a contestant this year, and so the people that are competing for Earth are trying to make sure that Earth doesn't get destroyed. It sounds crazy, sounds weird. I've heard a lot of great things about it. Catherine Valente is an author that I have been wanting to read for so long, and for some reason I just haven't read anything by her yet. I think this might be now the third book on my shelves that I own by her that I haven't read, and I know I've tried to read a couple of her books in the past, so I just feel like she's an author that I'm so close to reading and loving. I just haven't been able to like get myself there, and I'm hoping that I will this year. And the reason that I placed the book outlet order in the first place was for Middlegame by Seanan McGuire. This is a book that came out last year, has been super raved about. Lots of people included it on their favorites of 2019, and I love Seanan McGuire. The Wayward Children series is one of my favorite series of all time, and so I'm excited to read something new by Seanan McGuire because this is not the Wayward Children books at all. It's very, very different. I actually don't know a ton about it. I think it's about these two twins who were created by this man who I think thinks he's maybe God, or he's trying to become God, and these twins are also maybe gods. I don't know, sounds weird. I already know that I like Seanan McGuire, so I'm just excited to read it. But yeah, it's on my 2020 TBR, so I'll definitely be getting to it at some point before the end of the year. She says, like she has ever completed a TBR in her entire life. The last book in this book haul is the only one that I didn't get from Book Outlet, and that is The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski. This is the first book in the Witcher series. I have talked about The Witcher so much lately. I made a whole video about how much I loved the show and recommending books to read now that you've also loved the show. I feel like I need to read the books that the show is based on, obviously. I was planning on starting this in February, and then, you know, everything sucks right now. Not, you know, everything. If you saw my list video, you know that I just haven't really been in the reading mood lately, and I really want to make sure that I read books at the right time, and I didn't want to try to read this when I was just not feeling anything, so I put it aside for now, but I am gonna read it at some point soon, hopefully. This is a collection of short stories. It is the first book basically in the Witcher world, the Witcher series, and it's all about a man named Geralt who is a Witcher, which means he's basically like a superhuman. He's like a mutant superhuman, and he has all these special powers, and he is trying to save the world. And I love the show a lot, and I'm excited to read the stories and continue reading the books while I continue to wait for the new season of the show. Anyway, that's that. So that is my winter book haul. I am really excited about a lot of the books in this book haul. I guess I'm actually excited about all of them, but there's some that I definitely want to prioritize and get to as soon as possible. I have just, you know, not been feeling the reading, but I'm slowly, I think, coming out of my reading slump. I finished a book today, so I'm thinking that we're on the rise in terms of getting my reading mojo back. So hopefully all of these books will be read relatively soon. Fingers crossed that I'll get there. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of the books that I mentioned in this video and what you thought about them. Which of these books do I need to prioritize above all the others? Which would you like to see me review? sooner rather than later. I'd really love to know. Also, let me know some books that you bought recently, or if you don't really buy books, then let me know the next book you're going to read or the next book that you're super excited about. I'd really love to know that as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!